the world has changed, hasn't it, for the time being with this lockdown? So for us business owners, there are changes that we're having to make to be able to survive and possibly even thrive during this lockdown period. So I've got a bunch of stuff here that I'm going to teach you that will allow you as a business owner to say, you know what, maybe you just want to get through this with your shirt on still on your back, right? You just want to survive. Or maybe as we work through these together, you may go, that's a great idea. Never thought of that. I could actually make more profits than I realized, obviously in an ethical way, and come out of this a lot stronger than I imagined. Because who knows, this lockdown could be a one-time thing. We may come out of it, the virus may rise again and we have to go back into it. So we really have to play the smart long game if we want to survive or maybe thrive as a business owner. So I'm going to give you some suggestions for different types of businesses. If you sell physical products, I got some help for you. If you are a digital product provider, I got some help for you. Any different business, I want to give you some advice. I'm going to charge you a thing for it. I'm going to coach you for free. I just hope that it helps you. I really, truly do. So let's start at the beginning and let's start with expenditure. I'd suggest getting a notepad and pen for this because I don't want you to forget these things. It could be the difference between your business surviving or not. So take some notes. And I'm not going to sell you anything either, so you can chill out. I'm here to help. Expenditure. You may be in a situation where you say, Richard, I got nothing left, okay? In that case, you need to go through everything and say, okay, what is not essential? Like if it isn't essential, I just got to not pay for any of that. I got to cancel all that stuff, right? So you may be putting money into brand awareness. You may be, you may have something that isn't going to directly bring you sales or customers in. So that could be something we could put off at that project until after this time has ended, okay? The lockdown has passed. So there may be some things where you're looking at in your personal life. Do you really want to have the top package on Netflix right now? Or do you really need 50 different things that you maybe are luxuries? I'm sure you've already thought of this, but just in case you haven't, dive into your bank statement, look at every single thing that's in the expenditure column. Do you really need it right now? Is it really helping you, or is it actually quickening your decline of your finances? Now you may actually have a little bit put by, you may actually have a little bit of some existing customers, some money coming in. If that's the case, you may want to take a look at your business and say, okay, what is actually grabbing is actually creating leads and turning those leads into sales. So you need to look and say, okay, if I've got a little bit of money, we know what happens in a business if we turn off the marketing. This happens. This is your income and this is time. Why does this happen? Well, there's always a rate of attrition, isn't there, in any business? Not every single customer will always buy again. They'll not always recommend somebody else. If it's a membership system you've got, they won't always keep on paying. Some will cancel. So if we have no new blood, new sales coming in, it's just going to continue to decline. If you're in a position where you have no spare finances and enough of a membership base to say I can last 6-12 months, maybe that's a strategy for you. My advice to you would be, and I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not giving you financial advice here, just from personal experience. A couple of recessions ago, I lost everything, and one of the reasons for that was, I thought, okay, let me just stop everything, and then I realized, hang on a minute, I've now stopped the actual flow of life into my business. There's nobody signing up, there's no new customers, because how could there be? I've got no marketing going out there. And that was the nail in the coffin. I trusted some people I shouldn't have done. I think if you shake somebody's hand, it should mean as good as a contract. I was naive enough to think that, and it didn't work out. But still, I lost a very profitable business from a couple of mistakes. It went really quickly. I don't want that to happen to you. If you're in a position where you can say, you know what, I know where my income is coming from, I can keep that avenue open because I'm spending 1,000, but I'm making 2, right? Do you see that? So that would be my first piece of advice on expenditure. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's just me from personal experience. I hope that helps you. Second of all, are there any adaptations we can make to take something that was at first physical, like face-to-face, belly-to-belly, and now be online? So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about adaptations. And this could be something like you may be a personal trainer. You used to do sessions physically, one-on-one, or exercise classes. You could use something like, say, Zoom. This is a free software that you can sign up for, send somebody a link, they click it, now both of you are in a video chat half the screen each. You can communicate video, voice. You may already know about this, right? It's good to use with your family as well to keep in touch with them. So now you could personally train something from your living room. This is how we do this workout. Watch my technique. If you're a coach or a consultant that is meeting people face to face right now, well, you could do your sales presentations. You could present to a group, to a team. If you're responsible for a team, right? You could continue anything that was face to face where information was going to be exchanged. You can continue that digitally. Now, I know that's not a physical product. I'm going to come on to that in a second. But if you have a service or information, a transformation you help people with, then you're able to use Zoom to keep the business going and offer that to your clients and your customers, right? So that just makes sense to do that. It may be something where you use, say, a sales funnel. Have you heard of those? Let me show you something on that. Let me draw a diagram. Okay, so a sales funnel is where you pour your leads, your prospects, people who are interested in what you've got, we bring them into the top of the funnel. It's a series of pages that walk your prospect from being, I'll take a look, to paying you some money. And you can do that all online. So let's stick with that personal trainer just for argument's sake. The front page of this funnel, and there are systems you can use to build this very simply, like literally like using a Word document. It's very simple to do. The front one might be, put your name and email in here, and I'll send you the 10 best exercises to get six-pack abs. Oh, I'll take a look at that. So the personal trainer, anybody that enters their email, they know that they're interested in getting a six-pack. They're interested in getting fitter. A great potential client for a personal trainer, okay? And if they're smart, they'll be even more specific. The 10 best exercises for middle-aged dads to get a six-pack. Now you're really niching down and getting a good business plan there. So that's the PDF. They enter their email. They're now a lead of yours, they get the PDF. On the next page, automatically, when they've entered their email, up pops some information saying the PDF's on its way to your email, give it 10 minutes to arrive. But right now, would you like to know exercises for the rest of your body? You want to get a six-pack? What about stronger legs? What about bigger arms? What about rounder shoulders, right? A deeper muscular chest. Here's a full home body workout, and it's only going to be $20, $28 or £10, whatever market you're in. So now we do what's called an upsell. Now after that, they may see another page and they may say, hey, you know what? How about I become your coach? You may be trying to figure out all these exercises yourself, and now you've got that routine, that's great, but would you like someone to hold you accountable, motivate you, and actually be there live on Zoom at a time and a place and say, okay, let's work out together. Here's the package, and so on and so forth. Do that 2 or 3 times and give them the great offers. Now at the end of that funnel, what you're going to see is you've at least got someone who you can inquire with. You've got their email to follow up with them. You're probably going to have somebody that will purchase 1 or 2 or 3 things from you. That has given you the ability to do what you would normally do face to face when you're speaking with somebody. Hey, would you like this little sample workout? Hey, would you like a full workout? Would you like me to design a diet plan? Would you like me to be your trainer? You've accomplished all of those steps without having to do separate meetings, separate emails, separate everything else. It's just flowed them boom, boom, boom right through the other end. Now, even if they say no to everything but the free thing, you're able to now email that person. If you have an autoresponder software, again, they're simple to use. You write one email, you can predate a schedule, and the emails will be sent to everybody that's opted in for that PDF. So you could send them testimonials of your existing clients. You could send them a little video of you doing a home workout. I'd love to be able to coach you and do the same thing. You know, you can build some trust and rapport with that person. So again, that's an adaptation of something you're having to do right now face to face. We can use technology to do it virtually and actually more effectively. A sales funnel will allow you to reach more people quicker, okay? Next thing you may want to do, let me change pens because these always dry out when I'm holding them up like this. There may be something additional. You may have to add something, okay? Now, what might that be? It might be, this would be especially useful to you if you are selling some kind of physical product only right now. So if you're selling, let's say you're selling, let's do a different type of business. You're selling shoes. You're selling shoes. You got a shoe shop. Right? So right now you're saying, well, like, shoe looks wrong. You ever written a word down you haven't wrote for a while and been like, that doesn't look right? I'm sure that's how you spell shoe. Anyway, so you've got this physical product. and someone is no longer allowed in your shop because of social distancing, all the rest of it, right? The lockdown. So, Richard, how on earth am I supposed to make any money if I'm actually only selling shoes to these people? Okay, what gives? Well, if you're smart, you'll have the contact info of your customers on email, right? You should have their contact info. I mean, come on, if they bought from you, you should have their email. And even not, you can start from scratch by what I'm going to teach you. So how about if your skill set and your shoe shop is closed down, how about we actually do a shoe buying guide? Let's say you're a lady and you sell to females. Your shoes are your passion. You sell shoes to other ladies. How about you create a guide that allows people to pick the right type of shoe for the right type of outfit? Ladies, you still want to look good in the lockdown, right? So you want to feel good about yourself. You're going out there, maybe doing a little bit of exercise out and about. Maybe you're having I've seen some people having like home meals, like going on dates, that kind of thing, but in their home with a partner. Let's have some fun. You still want to be able to know what type of shoe to put with what type of outfit. It may not be a priority right now, but it may just be something to brighten your day, and I could help you with that. So they opt in for that. They give you their email, or you offer that to your existing customers. Guess what that is? That's the top of your funnel. What could you also do? You could offer a full styling service. Okay, you could offer the ability to do by Zoom to actually help them with the rest of their fashion. I sell shoes, but I'm big on fashion and I understand fashion too. Why don't we look through your wardrobes together and we can get rid of everything that you're never going to wear again, not going to need. We can start to make an inventory of exactly what you're going to need when this lockdown is over to complete your wardrobe. So for any occasion that you're doing, you can have the right shoes, the right outfit to look and feel great. And you can charge them for that, right? That's a one-on-one personal service you can do right now. Bring your phone to your bedroom or to your wardrobe and we'll go through that together. So there's a way that you can inject income, even though you're not selling them something physically. You're actually setting them up to buy from you when the lockdown is over because you're going to have an inventory of what they need. And then also it's a way for them to do something fun, everybody's sick and tired of just being inside and looking at the same four walls, right? So this would be something that some people do have some money, they want to be able to do this, right? Not everybody has lost their job. Not everybody is suffering financially. Some of your customers will still want to buy from you. It's just a physical distance that they can't bridge right now. So that would be a great idea, right? And you could do this with a whole bunch of different things. Let's try a different type of... who else could add a service to what they do? Personal training, we've already done that. Shoe shop. What else is something physical that people do? I'm trying to think of an idea here. So we had the shoe shop. We had the clothes. What else do people do? Even something that you would never think would be able to do this, like a mechanic. Richard, there's no way a mechanic can make money right now because how is people going to drive their car to them because they don't need that? I get you. Well, what's something that your customers would really benefit from knowing and would want to know? What would anybody with a car want to know? How about you give them a guide how not to get ripped off, right? The 10 most common... I'm not going to write it all out. The 10 most common rip-off jobs, the 10 most common faults that can be fixed for free or cheap that a mechanic will rip you off for. And you go through them, right? You go through, there's an oil leak. You could just tighten the sump plug. Here's what it looks like, you'll know, I'm a mechanic. I'm useless with cars. I can change oil, that's about it. But you'll know if you're a mechanic, there's a bunch of stuff that people can make out's a bigger problem than what it is. And people could just, with a torch, simply look and check that, right? That would be a great guide. People would pay for that because you can make a claim and say, you know what? On average, it costs someone zero money in 5 minutes to tighten a sump plug. And you just have to check with a little torch where it is. If someone tries to say you need to change your oil and do a service, that's £350 right there on job number 1. Job number 2, I don't know, a faulty light. Well, do you realise if you actually check this contact really simply with a screwdriver, it would stop them having to bill you for a brand new headlight. So you could actually look at the value of each of those jobs that it would save somebody. And hey, this is like £5,000 worth of saved income for you on the lifetime of every car you're ever going to get. I'm going to charge you £99 for it or £49 for it, or even give that away for free And then on the next step, have you always wanted to be able to service your car for yourself? Basic checks that you can make. You could, all sorts of knowledge that you've got, people would be willing to pay you for, especially because they're stuck at home. And if they do need to use their car for shopping and essentials, they're like, well, the car was due a service or there's a fault on the car. I can't take it to a garage, but I want to fix it. Well, here's a way you could help some people with some basic faults on their cars. They would pay you for that. It's a problem they need solving. So can you see how if you think outside the box, someone that has a physical business is still able to use some of their specialist skills and make an additional income out of that, which could last and even thrive beyond the lockdown. I did this. I had a physical business. It caused me to go online, the experience that I had. Now I make way more online using the internet than I've ever done working offline, and I do that from the comfort of my home. I'm very grateful to be in that situation right now. But no matter what happens in the world, I'm able to pre-schedule what I do. I don't have to put physical time in to meet people. And that wouldn't have happened had it not been for that recession, that really negative experience. So something I want to say to you is, you may be suffering right now, and I really feel for you, but this may be an opportunity for you to do something. I don't know the internet. I don't know how to figure that stuff out. Well, here's, necessity is the mother of invention, right? You may be able now to add something to your business, to grow your income streams, to improve your online game or begin one, and say, you know what, this actually could be something that makes me a lot more money than what I've had in the past. And I would never have done it had it not been for this lockdown situation. So there's a silver lining, hopefully, for you with some of this information. What else I want to say? Okay, 100%, okay, right now, oh, my pen again. It's because I talk with it like this way up and then the ink runs down. So 100% of your leads and your conversions to actual sales and sign-ups, they're going to have to be online right now. Okay, they're going to have to be online right now because there's no alternative. So when you're looking at your business, if you let's take a bird's eye view of your business and say, okay, how do I generate sales? How do I generate interest for this? And how does that interest convert then to actual sales or sign-ups or clients? Take a bird's eye view, look at those moving parts. If right now you're like, well, I put a magazine advert out there and the magazine advert has them, schedule an appointment with me and then I go out for that appointment, well, that's gone, hasn't it? You may say, okay, I got to change it. I'm going to have to learn how to advertise on, say, Facebook better. I'm going to have to use Facebook ads or YouTube ads. Or I'm going to have to use, other avenues that are online, maybe a YouTube channel, maybe a podcast. That can generate the interest, and in that piece of content and that advertising, I will instruct them to go to my website or to contact me via email or to, when they give me a call, I'm going to schedule a Zoom meeting with them, something like that. So you need to be able to look and say, okay, where do I get my leads from, my interest? How do I convert that to sales and signups? Bird's eye view, what moving pieces can we change to make that 100% online right now? Because there is no alternative. If you don't do that, your business will die. There's that famous quote, adapt or die. It's the same in every business, okay, right now. So what have we got? We've got a couple more things left, okay? So if right now you're saying, well, I don't want to change anything, Richard, that sounds like too much like hard work. Thank you for your time. There were some great suggestions about how am I supposed to do them. Let me give you some resources. I'm not going to write these down. I'll put them underneath the video. So if you want to, what have we mentioned? Zoom, I'll put the link to Zoom underneath here. I'll also put the link to a funnel system, the same funnel system that I've used for years. So if you're like, okay, I like the idea of that, give them a PDF, sell them something. And how does that work? How do I actually give them the something? Where do I put the PDF? There's a service that can help and guide you through that. They do a 2-week free trial as well. So I'll stick that link underneath here as well. That is, you'll see /CF trial in that link. An autoresponder, I recommend Aweber, so I'll put a link to that too. An autoresponder is if you want to take somebody's email, write one email and go to a bunch of your clients. So you may want to upload a customer list there so you can communicate easier. So I'll do that. Let me write these down so I'll forget. Zoom, funnel, and then also it was autoresponder. So all of these thankfully have training that comes with them. So when you go and use that funnel system, there's templates pre-done for you, and it will actually show you, okay, if you want to sell a product, if you want to give away something for free, here it's already done, and then they guide you through how to actually build that for yourself. Once you've done it once, you'll be able to recreate it. Autoresponder, same thing, great help section in Aweber. You can type in a little search bar, how do I do XYZ? Up pops a video for you to follow along. So you can definitely do the things that I've mentioned, even if right now you don't have that knowledge. You can definitely gain that knowledge, because what I would say to you is, what is the alternative? You know, sticking our head in the sand, ignorance isn't bliss in a business in this day and age, especially during a lockdown. What I don't want you to do is just hunker down when you know in your heart and your gut that your business hasn't got the profits to get through this unless you keep on bringing in some kind of sales. I don't want you to be in a position where your business was thriving, it's taken you years and years and years to get to a certain level, and now it's just diving and you just become a spectator. I want you to be a participant in your recovery, not a spectator of your failure. Now, it's not your fault. I get that. Nobody asked for this virus, right? None of us, did anything wrong for this to happen. But what I'm saying to you now as a human being, not just as a coach, is your business plays a large part in your life, not just for yourself, for the people that rely on the income from it too, your family, right? I have a wife and daughter. If my income was struggling right now and someone showed me an avenue to at least go and fix that, I would want to give it all I've got. Whether you figure that stuff out in time or not, who knows? But one thing's for sure, I guarantee you won't figure it out if you don't even try. I don't want you to be in a situation where you say, oh, it was the virus, and you could have actually done something about it yourself, if you're honest, okay? No doubt it's made it harder, but it hasn't made it impossible for most people, okay? For most people, it's just an adaptation, a shift. It's like, when I was 18 years old, I wanted to be an engineer, and I thought engineering looks really cool, making something. I ended up working on the railway engineers. I was making the big buffers, welding and stuff on trains. Now, the business that I was in, the industry I was in, all that work started getting pushed out to foreign countries, not in the UK. So the company that I was a part of made me redundant, even though I was only, what do you call it? When you're getting paid, but you're like an apprentice. I was only an apprentice, but they even laid the apprentices off. Now, I took a look at that industry right there and then, and I asked the owner, and I was like, is this just your company or is this the industry? He said, both. So the company's struggling, but also the industry is shrinking massively. Manufacturing is going abroad. Going to China, I think he said at the time. He said, so we just can't compete with their prices, with what we need to pay people. So I thought there and then, okay, I really wanted to be an engineer. I really wanted to make stuff and work with machinery and that kind of thing, just get my teeth into something. But I was like, okay, this is not going to be the way forward. Why would I continue to go down a path where I can see it's going to be so much harder than is necessary for me to make money and support myself, and when I become a father, when I become a husband? So I adapted, I changed. I was like, let me get some new skills. I got a personal training qualification that led me into fitness. I got a job in a gym, ended up becoming a full-time personal trainer, opened my own gym. So, we need to actually say, some of you may be in a position where the business that you're in right now, it's an industry that isn't perhaps going to survive long-term, even past the coronavirus. This may be a business where you have to look and say, as much as you love it, if it's shrinking and you're getting pushed out by competitors and this is just like the final nail in it, maybe this is something that spurs you to adapt, to adjust, to pursue a passion you've always wanted to adjust. As painful it is, and I've been through it personally, I know all about that. I had to retrain when I lost the gym in the recession. I know what it's like to lose a business, but I also know what it's like to build one that can thrive and adapt and be fluid with the changes. The people that adapt and thrive in business and in life are not the strongest. They're the ones that can adapt the best. And this is what I'm trying to teach you today. Hopefully, even one of these things you can do to make a difference. It may give you an extra month, 2, 3, 6, but my hope for you and my goal for you in this video is it allows you to actually add something that you're doing, adapt what you're doing to actually be in a much stronger financial position, not just now, but for the foreseeable future. Let's get you building the kind of business that you know you're capable of. So, did this help? I hope it did. I hope it gave you some kind of information, advice that you can now incorporate. If you have additional questions and you're like, well, that sounds good, but I need to do it for this type of business, stick them in the comments. I just want to help. I'm trying to think, how can I help people? Well, knowledge is the best way I can help you. And hopefully some of this knowledge has helped you today. So as always, go create a day in a life that counts. Always have more desires than excuses. Stick a comment beneath here if you have a question, if you need some help, or if it helped you. And hopefully we survive this together. Your business maybe even thrives. We can get back to normal. It can be a great learning lesson, and we can take those lessons and be a stronger, better person and business owner. I'll catch you on the next one if you're a subscriber. Have a fantastic day, and bye for now.